welcome back to my channel. I know, I've been gone for over 2 years now.
Oops. Sorry.
I'm sorry, I've just been really busy with schoolwork and kind of lost the motivation to do YouTube. But I'm back and I'm excited to do more content on manhwas, dramas, and anime. For today's video, I'll be going over 7 great Isekai Manhwas to read during your free time. However, before I get started with the list, I wanted to start this video with the definition of Isekai for those of you who don't know. So yeah, I don't know if this is legit or anything, but according to Google, Isekai translates to a subgenre of fantasy in which a character is suddenly transported from their world into a new or unfamiliar one. Now, I've read several manhwas where characters have gone back in time in their lives and have woken up as a newborn or 10 years prior to their life. I'm not sure if that's considered an isekai as well, but for the sake of this video, we'll just say that it is. So you'll find that some of the manhwas on this list are more of time travel. So time travel / isekai. But yeah, I also want to put a disclaimer out there that this is just a list of isekai manhwas that I've personally enjoyed reading. If you've read any of these and you feel otherwise, feel free to talk about it in the comment section below. So yeah, starting with the first manhwa on the list, we have The Villainess Reverses the Hourglass. In this manhwa, the main character's mother is a prostitute who marries a wealthy and high-status man. With that, her status in society skyrocketed immediately. After leading a life of luxury, the main character unfairly meets death because of her stepsister's schemes. But right before she dies, she sees an hourglass fall as if it were a fantasy. And just like that, she was miraculously brought back to her past. This time, she's determined to change her past to avoid the fate of her and her mom's death. This is a great read if you're into revenge and romance. I personally love the character development in this storyline. What's unique about this manhwa from other manhwas where characters travel back in time is the hourglass piece of the story. You learn later on in the story that the hourglass allows her to manipulate time, and it's interesting to see how she uses the power to change her fate. The main character is also known as the villainess in the beginning of the story, who indulges in materialistic things and is quite selfish. I kind of like that element of the story because it really showed the character development over time. Now, the only thing that I would knock off points with this drama is the romance part. I felt like they could have done a better job with it, but overall it's a good read. Next up on the list, we have The Duchess with an Empty Soul. Ivana died miserably on the day she found out the truth. The truth that her fiancé had a hidden lover, and it was her very own cousin. On the second morning, after her 20th birthday, a miracle happened. From that point on, she decided not to believe in love anymore. So this is another manhwa about a girl whose love interest betrays her and abandons her after she puts her full 100% in the relationship. I feel like we see this a lot in different storylines of manhwas out there, but I have to tell you guys, this manhwa takes it to a whole nother level. The first few chapters of this manhwa had me so angry. Now, just to let you guys know, this manhwa is heavy on fantasy and romance. I'm not really a big fan of fantasy and supernatural genres, but this storyline is worth it regardless of this fantasy. Okay, so next up on our list, we have The Justice of the Villainous Woman. The day the main character lost her boyfriend to her best friend, she fell into the Hans River by mistake. When she woke up, she became a famous duke's daughter who's known as the villain in a book she's read. In the original story, the duke's daughter was appointed as the next empress candidate. She fought for the position against Irene, who was the lover of the crown prince. In the original story, the Duke's daughter and her family meets a tragic end. The main character, knowing this, decides to protect her beloved family from the court's evil schemes by becoming a villain herself. I feel like this story has become a cliche now, with so many other manhwas and webtoons having similar storylines, but what really made the story unique to me was the main character. She's a true badass and is not afraid to get her hands dirty to win at all costs. I was rooting for her the whole time, but I'm also big on rooting for the underdog, so this was really an enjoyable read for me. If you want a nice read with some hints of humor, check out this manhwa. Next, we have one of my favorite manhwas of all time, I Became the Villain's Mother. Here, the main character falls into a book she's been reading and has become the stepmother of Ain, the antagonist of the novel. In the original story, the stepmother used to abuse Ain all his life until he finally killed her at the end. The main character, now being in the position of the stepmother, decides to change her fate and protect Ain. She hopes that if she becomes the loving mother he never had, he'll grow up to be a good person. I can't stress to you guys how much I love this manhwa. You know, this manhwa kind of reminds me of the Addams Family in a way, with the new Wednesday Netflix series. Ain is kind of like Wednesday in the sense that he doesn't really give two F's about things, and he's really smart and calculated. And the family as a whole are known as villains in the story, but you can't help but root for them. Please read this if you haven't already. I would love to hear everyone's thoughts on the comment section below, both good or bad. Next up, we have the manhwa Lady Baby. In this story, the main character has suffered through nature's law and many accidents. Her family was murdered and an ongoing war ended her life. But mysteriously, she travels back to the time when she was first born. While the main character slowly grows up again, she works toward trying to find out who kills her family so she can stop them in time. The nice thing about this manhwa is the main character has all the memories of her past life while she's still a baby, so it's kind of funny to see how she interacts with her family and how smart and calculated she is as a kid. However, one thing I don't really like about this story is the slow progression. I feel like we read about her being a kid for a really long time, and there were moments where I wanted to see her as a teenager. However, some of you might appreciate that and like the little details and character development that goes on, so it really depends on your preference. Next, we have the manhwa I Am the Child of This House. At only the age of 11, our main character Estelle is sold off by her mother. The Duke of the Empire decides to buy her, and soon Estelle finds out that he is her biological father. However, the Duke is known for being cold and a fearful lord. Will Estelle be able to survive in her new household? Other than the beginning, I find this manhwa to have cute moments. It's nice to see her family progress throughout and see the relationship between the main character and her brothers. In the future, the main character becomes a strong female lead, which is exciting, so I would definitely check it out if you haven't already done so. Last, we have the manhwa Daughter of the Emperor. The main character wakes up and finds that she is the daughter of a ruthless tyrant king who conquers 10 empires. During their first encounter, she's only an infant, and there's a prophecy going around that she will bring death to the king in the future. The king decides he's going to kill her as he's done with all his other children. However, the tyrant changes his mind after he meets the infant for the first time and decides to let her live out of curiosity. So, I've mentioned this manhwa in a previous video I made, and I still stand by it to this day. The storyline is cute. It's a great read if you're looking for something that's light and funny. And overall, the characters are really great. Yeah, so that's it for this video. If you have any isekai that you enjoyed reading that you feel like should definitely be put on a YouTube list, comment it down below and I'll see if I've read it already or if I should read it. Until then, see you all next time. Bye.